and this is Action Movies for Dummies. Today we are going over Big Trouble in Little China. My name is MJ, and the man that will teach you karate the wrong way for his own entertainment, Shakes.
Hello, everybody. And yes, I will train you badly. I will even make you wear shoes that squeak every time you step down, just for my own personal amusement.
Shout out to anybody who gets that bite. All right, Shakes, Big Trouble in Little China. Tell us about it, brother.
All right, this movie came out in 1986. It stars Kurt Russell, which when you think of action movie heroes, he's not one of the first names that come to mind,
Not at
but
all.
he has been in a ton of action movies.
Really?
Uh, yes.
Maybe I
Don't
haven't
ask me
noticed.
for any. Don't ask me for any examples. But if you go to a little site called IMDb, you can see them all.
Oh, Lord.
Also starring Kim Cattrall, who was in the TV series Sex and the City. Some people think it's Sex in the City, but that would be a Mandela effect. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh, don't start. Don't start. We're not starting like this. I'm gonna struggle through this episode anyway. Don't get me started here.
Okay, so I won't bring up the Mandela effect again.
All right.
Next, we have Dennis Dunn. Then we have James Hong, who plays the big bad guy in this one, the boss
Lo
of
Pan.
the level, if you will, Lo Pan. This guy, now I went back and started looking at what he's been doing. He has had no shortage of jobs.
Yeah,
He
no.
does voiceovers for so many animated series. Oh my gosh. He's in all the Kung Fu Pandas.
Yeah.
He also does video games.
Yes.
He was a voice in Diablo 3, Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, and more. I just did not feel like writing them all down. But this guy, and I don't even know. I should have looked at how old he is. He's old. Like in '86, he was old in this role itself. The guy's doing great.
Yeah.
Victor Wong is also in it. He's been in a ton of stuff too. The Golden Child being one of them, with
Nice.
starring Eddie Murphy. And I'm not gonna go on with any of the others. They may be real popular, but there was a huge cast in this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a large cast, and they all did very, very well in this. And it's written by Gary Goldman, David Z.
Yep.
Weinstein, and then W.D. Richer. Okay.
Okay.
And it's directed by John Carpenter.
Which I've seen this movie so many times, and it did not click with me that John Carpenter did this movie, like the king of horror and sci-fi.
If you don't know the name John Carpenter, a couple of movies that he is really known for is The Fog, the original Halloween series, and Escape from New York, which ironically also starred Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
They had some bromance going on.
Yeah,
but
man. No, I think John Carpenter had a thing for him, man, because he always
Yeah.
had him. He always had him in a tank top, gun showing.
Yes. Like it took no time. Like he was like tank top within like 15 minutes of the show, and pretty much stayed that way.
All right, it's probably been a little while since you've been back to it, but first impressions, bud.
Well, it came out in '86, so it probably came out on cable. Things didn't come out so quick back then. It was probably like '88. Fell in love with the movie immediately. Fell in love with it, and my dad also was a huge fan. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
watched this movie often. And honestly, you said it's been a while since I've seen it. I probably watched it less than a year ago just because I wanted to.
Yeah. Also, My father introduced me to this movie, man. He loved this movie. And when I was young, I absolutely loved this movie. And I will say, this is probably one of the more kid-friendly movies that we go over. It's rated PG-13, but it's definitely a soft PG-13. It's not super hardcore in the cursing. Like every now and then they'll let out a damn or a shit here and there, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
I think
way more kid-friendly than most of the things we do on this show.
pretty sure you couldn't say fuck back then and keep a PG-13.
Ah, that makes sense. Now you can say
I
fuck and
think
still
that
keep a PG.
right, or podcast.
All right, buddy. You ready to open up?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. So the movie opens up to Egg Shen, a tour bus driver, and he's being questioned by his attorney about Jack Burton and his truck. He says there's a green explosion and that Egg Shen and Jack was involved somehow. But Egg Shen defends Jack. He says he shows great courage and that they're all in debt to him.
Leave Jack Burton alone.
Oh, Egg Shen's in the office. Look at that. The attorney asks if Egg Shen believes in magic. Egg Shen says yes, Chinese black magic. The attorney asks for proof, and Egg Shen then creates electricity between his palms and blows the attorney's mind.
And then he says, "This is nothing." That's how it begins. Very small. Thought that was a great way to start the movie.
Yes. Beautiful way to start the movie. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through with all these voices. Because there's definitely gonna be more to come.
No. Yeah, probably.
Scene then opens to a loaded truck flying down the street. And it's good old Jack in his Pork Chop Express, and he's talking on the CB to anybody who would listen.
He doesn't even know if anyone's listening. But he opens up with this line. It's like I told my last wife, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides, it's all in the reflexes. Oh my God. And and this is during the opening credits.
Yes.
Something I haven't brought up before, but I'm gonna bring it up now. Opening credits. How many movies have you watched where it's just a black screen and you just see names pop up? And you have to sit there for 2.5 minutes going through all of these names. But the movies that actually give you the backstory during the opening credits, I would go for that 100 times over.
That's pretty good too.
You're actually utilizing that time. I mean, how many millions of dollars does it take to make a movie? Why wouldn't you use that 2.5 minutes to give the audience some information, since they don't really care whose names are popping up? If they did care, they would have looked it up, because that would have made them want to go see the movie.
This is true.
Okay.
Another line that he
throwing that out.
yells while he's talking blindly into the CB radio, he says, if a burly man comes up and shoves you up against the wall. Oh,
Oh, wait. You want to hear exactly what he says? This is Jack Burton at the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever out there is listening. Listen to the old Pork Chop Express and take his advice on a dark and stormy night, all right? When some wild-eyed 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head against a bathroom wall, looks you crooked in the eye and asks if you paid your dues, you just stare that big sucker right back in the eye, and you remember what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail.
I'm gonna put my head through this fucking monitor.
Come on, that is so good. It is so good.
Moving on, he then arrives into
Okay.
Little China. San Francisco, like Shake said, is the opening scenes, and it's showing him unloading his truck. It's showing him shopping around. It's showing him now gambling, and he is cleaning house. As Jack goes to leave, Wang, an old friend, is mad that he lost all his money, and he tries to bet Jack one last time. And it's double or nothing. But Wang says, and it frustrated me to hell, nothing or double.
Yeah.
I lost my mind when I kept hearing that. I was like, can you please stop saying that, my friend? So he says,
Well, I know what I'm gonna be saying from
oh,
now
don't you
on.
start, double or nothing, that he can cut the bottle in half with a machete. Jack agrees, but then he switches the bottle for fairness. Wang swings at the bottle flies towards Jack's face. Jack catches it in one hand and says,
It's all in the reflexes.
Wang,
Come on, Jack Burton's the man. He's ignorant as hell, but he's the man.
Wang tells Jack that he'll pay him later and that he needs to go to the airport. Jack ain't having it, so Jack says, get in the truck. On the way, he tells Jack that he's going to pick up the woman he loves, Mal Yin.
But before
Mhm.
that, he says, "Tell me the story about her." And he's like, "I don't wanna talk about it." And then 2 seconds later, he gives you their entire
Spills his
backstory.
guts.
Why would he say, "I don't wanna talk about it,"
Because he really wanted to
and
talk about it.
then do nothing but talk about it? No hesitation. It was like he just rolled straight into the story.
At the airport, Jack sees a woman and he is interested, but Wang says she is trouble. Now, here, I rewatched the movie. I thought he said she was trouble because she had green eyes. And me being a smartass, I said, ain't that the truth? Because being married to a woman for 12 years with green eyes, I know what kind of trouble that is, okay? But he doesn't. He's talking about Mao Yin, but he does say that Gracie is trouble. Jack then goes try to shoot his shot with her.
Gracie, it's Gracie
Gracie
Law,
Law.
the
We
lawyer.
do meet her a little bit later. I did name drop her a bit early. But as Jack is shooting his shot with Gracie, a small group of men push through. Jack wants to say something, but Gracie stops him and says that they're a part of the Lords of Death street gang and that they shouldn't be there. Gracie then breaks away from Jack because she's looking for a woman in the picture. Jack looks away to Wang and looks back to an old woman. I thought that was hilarious. As the passengers are coming off the plane, the gang starts to move. Wang sees Mao Yin and calls out. The gang tries to grab Tara, who is the woman in the picture that Gracie is after, but Jack steps in. One of the gang members then pulls out a knife, real cool like, and then he pulls out a baton in the other hand, and then he just starts going kung fu style towards Jack. Jack gets nervous and starts to back up, but another gang member trips him over. The third gang member then grabs Mao Yin and puts a gun to her head, makes for the door with the other two gang members, and take off with Mao Yin in tow.
Yep. Now, it's kinda hard to really see these gang members as a threat because they are dressed very 80s. They even have these, like, sunglasses that look like the grill on a
Oh
car.
man, I was
Uh,
wondering how he could see out of those things because it's literally like a line.
I gotta tell you, so many people had them back then.
Really?
It's like putting a pergola on your eyes. I never got it either, but no, they're dressed very
Very.
80s, like
Yeah.
collars flipped up and yeah, and okay.
Wang and Jack go after them. Tara and Gracie escape and hide behind the car. They see the gang pulling Mao Yin along, and then they see Jack and Wang and direct them towards the gang members. A red sports car comes flying at them with the three gang members sitting in the front seat and Mao Yin sitting very uncomfortably in the trunk
She's in
because it's a
she's
hatchback.
in a it's a hatchback. She's got nothing but glass. It's like she's not even hidden. It's just this glass hatchback, and she's, like, shoved all the way at the end.
The scene then cuts to Jack and Wang trying to make sense of everything. Wang says he knows where the gang's hideout is, and Jack heads over there. Scene jumps.
Oh,
Mhm.
but earlier Wang was asking Jack, "Why are you helping me?" And Jack's like, "Son of a bitch must pay." There's oh, and later on, I have a list of great one-liners that I would like to present to
All right, and that's the end of this show. No.
Oh, hey, hey.
Oh,
Tune back in 5 minutes. I'm gonna restart the show. Don't tell MJ.
All right. Scene jumps to Egg Shen giving a tour on his tour bus. And what I thought was funny is dead center of the camera, there is a man happily taking pictures from left to right. If you pay attention to his face, he is the father from the Harry Potter movies.
He is.
Egg Shen's giving this tour. Jack is then speeding head on down the same road, causing Egg Shen to swerve. Jack then pulls down this tight alley. When he pulls down this tight alley, he goes to ask a lady a question, and she just turns and walks away. Didn't give him the
She
time
was
of
doing
day.
something on her front she was doing something on her front porch, and when he asked her the question, she left everything on the front porch and just went inside, closed the door behind her. Like, not in fear. It was just, like,
Annoyance.
more like she was annoyed.
As they drive down the alley, they run into a funeral that blocks up the road. The men in the funeral are the Jiang Sing. Their enemies, the Wing Chun, come up from behind Jack's truck.
They
And Wang says the Wing Chun are animals, and they prove so as they open up fire with assault rifles on the funeral. But the Jiang Sing are fully prepared and they start firing back, but Jack and Wang are just stuck in the middle in this truck. The shooting that
like, "What is happening right now?" Oh, and the good guys all wear golden headbands. The bad guys all wear red headbands. Otherwise, they're dressed exactly the same.
Yeah, no, there's no difference. The shooting then stops. Both sides then come out with weapons drawn, staffs, knives, poles, all types of crazy kung fu fighting stuff. And Wang says they're having a Chinese standoff. Not a Mexican
Yes.
standoff, a Chinese standoff.
Is that a real thing? But I just let it go.
Both sides then let out a battle cry and they charge ahead, where all hell, I mean all hell, breaks
Great scene.
loose.
Such a good scene, though.
Absolutely. You see men from both sides getting their ass kicked. It is like a true alley brawl, okay? You see broken bones. You see men getting stabbed. You see men going through glass and going into brick walls head first.
Yes.
It is just bodies
Good.
upon bodies upon bodies. Jack and
Now,
Wang are
one
still stuck in this truck. Then,
hold on. Let me stop you right there. One thing I really enjoyed about the guys with the golden headbands, they had this salute that they would give each other, and it was like you're making a gun symbol with your hand, where your thumb is up and your forefinger's out, your first finger, and the other 3 are bent, but they're not bent all the way, and then you turn it so your palm is facing someone. Um,
oh,
but what I liked about it, and this is just me and my crazy ass head, the palm being out is like a high five, and then the one finger in the air is like, "Hey, you're number 1." And they were also given a thumbs up. What a positive hand signal. You got the whole trifecta right there.
what the hell is going on? Then, out of nowhere, A cloud of blue smoke and a man in a straw hat comes flipping out and establishes dominance with a hiya, 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 hiya. Another man in a straw hat comes lowering down in rain. A lightning bolt hits the ground, and then a man in a straw hat comes sliding down this lightning rod that has hit the earth. And he stands there, and electricity flows through his body. And I think to myself,
Boy, that looks familiar.
I, being the gaming nerd that I am, did some research. This character, Lightning is the inspiration for one of the main characters of Mortal Kombat, which is Raiden. And I thought
I
that
mean,
was so fantastic. I went and read up.
it's an exact
I
ripoff.
went and did a read up on it, and they said they pretty much took everything. They took the hat, the electricity flowing through his body, him able to use electricity in combat, all of that comes from this character.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Like, I never knew that was for sure
Right.
that's where that came from, but if you look at the 2 characters, there's no
No
difference.
difference at all. I think they even took pretty much a face scan of it because I mean, pretty much one for one. He rides this lightning bolts down and establishes dominance. The men start shooting at the Straw Hat Men, but there are no effects. They just stand there with the chest poked out. The 3 men then pull out blades, do a front flip, and throw blades directly into the men that were shooting at them.
Yeah. That wasn't some of the best
No.
work. That was I think you could almost see the ropes that they were hung on when they did the
The front flip.
flip.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a grounded standing front flip. Like they were just standing there, front flip, and threw
Yeah,
knives
like,
perfectly and killed 3 shooters.
they didn't even bend down to do the flip, it was, like, all toe muscles.
3 men then pull out weapons of their own. One has hooked blades, the other one has 2 claws, and one has these spinning things on his fingers. I have no idea what they did, but they look like they shredded skin.
Yeah, it was like propellers, like, on his palm.
Yeah, it was insane looking. Jack goes to ask a question, but Wang says, no questions, just drive. So Jack punches it. He drives through the 3 men. The last one jumps over the truck, and then you see this mysterious looking old man standing at the end of the road, and Jack runs right through him. Wang says it looks like Lo Pan. Jack and Wang then hop out of the truck, but Lo Pan is already up on his feet and he is pissed. He blinds Jack with a beam of light, shooting it out of his eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
Wang then pulls Jack away and leads him down an alley, tells him that the blindness is temporary, sprinkles some water, they move on. As they
He takes it from a nasty puddle on the ground and just throws it in his face. I guess if you could see again, that's the price you
They
pay.
run into the Lords of Death gang again, and they make a way down the alley. As they're running down the alley, you see the men that were fighting earlier getting massacred by the 3 men.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely massacred. Jack tries to go for his truck. Wang tells him leave it, and they run on. They slip into a little hide where they find a man, and he explains that the 3 men are like 3 storms. The names are Thunder, Rain, and Lightning. Jack and Wang make it to Wang's restaurant where they're talking to Wang's uncle, and they tell him that they saw Lo Pan. This is where we're also introduced to Eddie, who's Wang's employee. He tells Jack that the Lords of Death stole his truck.
Not the Pork Chop Express.
Gracie Law, the woman from earlier, comes in, and Jack immediately thinks that she's there for him.
She's like, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "I just happened to be in the neighborhood on a dark and stormy night."
Gracie explains that the gang took Mao Lang Yin to the White Tigers to sell. But the price is, Eddie explains the price is going to be doubled because she has green eyes. Uncle explains in this moment that Lo Pan has powers. He's not really flesh, he's more of a ghost, but he has a flesh form. Very,
He's like a dream.
very odd. They try to explain it like 5 times in this movie, and every time I was still thoroughly confused.
Yeah, I don't think you're actually supposed to know. They just kind of vaguely tell you, yeah, he's kind of a man, but not really a man.
Chinese black magic.
I don't think they fully understand what he is, so they're just like bullshitting their own excuses.
Maybe. Jack then tries to sneak into the White Tiger's hideout that is actually a brothel front. Jack plays his role and asks the women if he can have a woman with green eyes. And the head woman overhears this, and she walks into this little secret passage in the wall where there's Mao Yin tied up to a bed. Scene then jumps to Jack in a room with a woman trying to get information. The building then begins to shake. The scene jumps to Eddie and Wang outside. They step out of the car and they see this blue cloud over top of the building. The ceiling rips open in the hallway and in Mao Yin's room. Everybody makes a run for it, but Jack, of course, being the badass that he is, sticks around.
Oh, and he's also in disguise at this point as an accountant.
Do you have his name?
He's got his no,
Oh, it was a
and
falsy name too.
yeah, it was a bad name, and yeah, he had his hair like parted on the side and
Glasses on.
glasses, and he was talking about deductions, and he was just trying to play a dork,
Right.
and it was quite amusing.
It landed. That's for sure. He landed as a dork.
He was a character. It was Kurt Russell playing a character playing a character. So it was, there were layers, and it was funny.
So in the hallway, through the ceiling comes thunder and rain. Through the ceiling of Mao Yin's room goes lightning, and he cuts her free and takes her.
He grabs her, right? He's holding her, and he uses the lightning to go back up into the sky. Yeah. You know how electricity works. If you're holding someone, they're getting
Yeah,
shocked.
she should have got cooked, but didn't.
She should have been electrocuted, but they are black magic storms, so maybe the rules don't apply.
Who knows?
Just
Who knows at this
I
point?
I was like, how is she not dead right now? Just
So Jack thinks it is a great idea to walk up to Rain and punch him twice in the face. But Rain swings once and Jack goes flying, and the
yeah.
three storms take off with Mao Yin.
Again.
Scene then cuts to Grace and Wang helping Jack into Grace's office. They talk about the three storms, and if they took Mao Yin, then they're taking her to Lo Pan. Wang says he's going after her, and Jack agrees.
If we're not back by dawn, call the president. And before he was asking for an explanation as to what the hell is going on, he was like, hey, I'm a reasonable guy, but I've experienced some very unreasonable things.
Scene then jumps to Wang and Jack arriving at the Wing Chun Exchange, which is apparently owned by Lo Pan. They talk their way past the desk, and they find their way down a set of stairs that lead to a door that Wang has to pick the lock. Scene then jumps back to the restaurant with Gracie, Eddie, Uncle, and now Egg Shen has arrived, and he's explaining how Lo Pan has powers and that they must bring order out of chaos. The scene then jumps back to Jack and Wang finding drag marks on the ground that leads to a hidden elevator. As they're on the elevator cuts off. Scene then jumps to Egg Shen trying to explain more of Lo Pan's powers, but I still have no idea.
Yeah. It's so very vague.
In this, and especially here, it just seemed like they they jump cut it so many times. They jump to the restaurant, then they jump back to the elevator, then they jump back to the restaurant, then they jump back to. It's like, can we keep a scene for a second, please? Tell a
Right.
story, please.
No.
So
You've come up with your own story, sir.
so the scene now jumps back to Wang and Jack in this stopped elevator, and it starts to be filled up with water. As they escape, they find themselves in this underwater graveyard. They swim to the surface and they find that Thunder is standing there. The scene then jumps to rain beating up Jack while Wang is tied to a chair. He goes to hit Wang. Jack says,
"Come over here and fight like a man."
And then Rain forms this pink ball in his hand, blows it at Jack, and apparently this thing hits so hard that it keels Jack over.
It looks like a super ball. I mean, it wasn't even glowing or anything. It was just, it looked like a pink rubber ball.
So odd. So odd.
Like about the size of a golf ball.
Jack and Wang are then led to meet Lo Pan, but it's not this young empress-looking Lo Pan. It's an old man in a wheelchair that's very hard at hearing.
And very old. He's got to be like 300 years old.
We'll get to that.
I mean,
we'll get to that.
Whoa.
He actually explains that he's been cursed for over 1,000 years, and he needs to marry a woman with green eyes, Mao Yin, so he can lift the curse and please the demon that's ruling over his soul. And once he lifts the curse, he can then rule the universe from beyond the grave. I don't know what's going on.
Right. No, yeah, it's like he wants to become young, but then if he makes this deal, I think he pretty much dies and becomes some kind of dream or a ghost, and then he can rule everything, but he's not actually here.
Jack talks major shit here. He goes, "Oh, come on, give me a break. Over 1,000 years, you can't find one girl. I think you're doing something wrong, pal." Oh. I'm like, what the hell is going? You're tied to a chair.
He doesn't give a shit. It's Jack Burton, man.
This is true. Lo Pan then sees Grace and the others and a camera, a security camera at his desk, and then he rolls off. He says that Mao Yin's safe, safer than with anybody else. Gracie, Margot, and Eddie are trying to talk their way into the Wing Chun exchange. But Thunder, now in a clean suit, and he volunteers to give them a tour. The scene...
Yeah, he's all business-like.
Scene then jumps to Wang and Jack being led uphill. Now, remember that part. In wheelchairs.
Yes, the wheelchairs.
Jack wiggles his chair and knocks it over, reaches for his boot knife, cuts free, and then cuts Wang free. Scene jumps to Gracie and the others in the elevator with Thunder, and the elevator starts to fill up with gas. And somehow, everybody in the elevator passes out but Thunder.
Right.
How?
He's a mythical creature. He's like he's not completely human.
It.
Look, I'm making this shit up as I go along. This could be completely incorrect. If you sound confident, you can get away with it.
Scene then jumps back to Jack cutting Wang free. They devise a plan to escape, but no luck because it's metal tomb essentially. But someone starts to approach. It's Thunder, and he's carrying Eddie, who's been knocked out from the poison. Jack and Wang act as if they're still tied up. While Thunder is hanging Eddie up by his hands, Jack jumps on his back and tells him, "Don't make a move." Thunder flips him off, and then Wang tries to help, but gets goozled. Like Jack then jumps back up and puts the knife against Thunder's throat and tells him,
"Make one move, tough guy."
Wang and Eddie make for the door. Thunder then takes a deep breath that's inflating his chest and it knocks Jack backwards into one of the wheelchairs that then send
Yes.
him down the hill, flying backwards, yelling. Holy shit, did I laugh so hard.
It's so good. His arms and legs are just flailing.
Because he's trying to catch the wall, but it's perfectly away from him. Like it's like literally like an inch away.
He's got to be doing like 30 miles an hour down this steep ass hill backwards in this wicker wheelchair.
As he's falling down, he stops just shy before he falls down this endless well. He then straightens the chair back up and jumps out before the chair falls into the well.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though, because he pulled himself back up, and all he had to do was get out of the chair. But he leaps out of the chair, sending the chair
Yes.
into the well. I mean, I get that they were trying to make it a really intense moment, but he literally just uses his heel and shoves it back down the well.
Jack then meets back up with Eddie and Wang, and they found guns, and they have this little funny gun swap where Wang gives Jack a pistol. Then Jack says, "Well, I'll trade you." So he gives Wang the pistol. Wang gives him this SMG. Wang sees that Eddie's holding a shotgun and takes the shotgun from Eddie without even asking and just hands him this little pistol.
Yes.
Eddie then explains that he was with Margot and Gracie and that action is actually outside for the getaway. The scene then jumps to old man Lopan on the phone saying that he wants Jack and the others found. After he hangs up, he starts to glow from his head. This beam of light comes from his eyes and mouth once again, and then the young Lopan appears. He doesn't walk, but floats around, which I thought was awesome. He then phases through things like couches and walls. He goes through the wall where he then finds Malian.
The one thing I didn't like about Lopan, young Lopan, is all of his nails are short except for his pinkies. He has these like massive cocaine pinkies. And I wonder if he derives some of his power from
That's the
that.
sorcery pinkies, man.
No, maybe.
He sees Malian laying there. He tries to touch her, but his hands just run through. Scene then jumps back to Jack and Wang. Wang says the coast is clear. He jumps out, and immediately there's a man standing right in his face. Jack tries to fire his gun, but he has to be told to take the safety off. Once he does, he then fires wildly and kills the man that's shooting at Wang. And then he plays it off as if he killed the man.
He sits there and he looks at the dead body like, what the hell have I done? And then he looks over with a little swagger and he's like, of course it's not.
All right, so the three make their way to where they find Gracie, Margot, and I don't know how many other women caged up. Wang and Eddie act as if Eddie is a henchman and they try to draw the guards out. And Jack is swinging underneath this bridge, super action style, while
Like a kid on the playground grabbing those bars one by one by one by one.
And the guards do come out to meet Eddie and Wang. They try to turn their guns on them, but the guards then knock their guns away with their staffs and commence to kicking the living shit out of them for a second until Eddie knocks one out and Yang knocks the other one off of the bridge. And then two more guards come out. Jack makes his way to on top of the cages, where he then jumps down and shoots the locks and frees all the women.
Before he shoots it, Gracie Law is like, how are you going to spring us? And he looks at her and he goes, I have no idea.
He is winging everything.
But it was just the blatant honesty from a guy who always sounds like he never has a plan. But yeah, no, it's confidence and arrogance. There's a fine line. He's arrogant. Um, but oh my god, he was like, "I
So
have
good.
no idea," and he was all loud and proud about it.
So he gets the women free. He then has to cut Gracie free, make their escape. But Thunder then shows up with like 20 henchmen. They start shooting. They reach water that leads to the sewer system. Jack is like, all right, in you go, Margot. Margot's like, no, I'm not getting in there. He tosses her in there. Gracie falls back a little bit, knocks Jack in. She thinks he's diving, and then she does like this Olympic dive into the water. As they swim their way through this sewer line, Gracie's checking for everybody and comes across Jack, and Jack goes in and steals a little kiss. I thought that was pretty funny.
Mhm.
Jack then leads the group out of the sewer into this room where there's a door where he gives instructions. He says, once we get going, stay tight, we're going. He swings open the door and there's henchmen. There's nothing but
There's like
henchmen.
there's like 30 dudes there.
He then shuts the door and says, we might be trapped.
We might be trapped. He opens the door and they're all angry and they're all just waiting for him to open the door. It's not even like they were just walking around. They're all staring him dead in the face. He opens his door and he like slams it real fast. We might be trapped.
The henchmen then burst through the door. Jack then fires wildly and kills a couple of them, but more pour in. Wang then jumps into action and starts kicking ass. Jack then goes for his boot knife. As he goes to pull it out, he throws it across the room and he duck walks over to it.
Yeah, he completely like he can't get the knife loose. And then when he does, it goes flying out of his hand across the room.
But you know what's funny? The truck in the scene, he's clutching the knife. When he swims through the sewer, he has the knife in his mouth. And
Of course he
puts
does.
it in his boot.
Pirate style.
And then he can't get it out. And it just flies across the room, which leaves Wang by himself. And he just clears the room.
Yeah. And then once Jack finally comes back with his knife, like, haha, let's go. Everybody's already taken it. Like, he missed the whole party.
Jack and Wang then lead the group of women to an escape where they talk past the guards and they get everybody through. But the walls have eyes, literally. As Grace is trying to make her escape, the wall swings open and a furry hand comes flying out and yanks her in. Jack and Wang
Yeah.
make for the bus. They get away, but they don't realize that Gracie isn't with them until they pull off.
Great friend.
Scene then jumps to Gracie fighting away from, woo, this thing is ugly. It then growls at her, scoops her up, and then runs down the tunnel to chain her down so the two storms can take her to Lo Pan. At this point,
Okay.
we now then
This creature is just a glorified Bigfoot Muppet. That's all it is. Yes, it looks angry, but I don't even think the jaw opens and closes.
No.
It just remains 2 inches open with sharp teeth showing.
Yeah.
But it's like if Jim Henson had a nightmare about a Bigfoot, this is what you would get.
At this point, we find out that Gracie has green eyes. I didn't, and you know the funny thing is, I
What?
didn't notice that the whole movie until they
Oh, you got to be
make
kidding
it
me.
pointed out.
They kept putting like, bruh.
Until they pointed it out, I had no fucking idea.
Who am I talking to right now? You even giving me shit?
Scene jumps back to
Okay.
Wang and Jack at the restaurant with all the women, where Egg Shen then shows up with the Jin Sing, the gang from earlier.
Yeah, the guys in the gold with the cool hand signal. It's like a thumbs up, a high five, and a you're number one.
Scene then jumps. Okay, yeah. Scene then jumps to one of the storms putting Grace in the same room as Mal Yin. Young Lo Pan then appears and explains that he needs to marry one of them so that he can break the curse and rule the universe forever. Scene then jumps back to Jack and the men at Egg Shen's warehouse, where he has some supplies, but he has this access to this underground. It's not really a sewer, it's more of a in-between world kind of thing. I have no idea what the hell is going on. Scene then jumps back to Thunder and Rain perform a ritual where Grace and Mal Yin hold swords by the blade, fly up and touch this little dragon that the lights start to flicker. It's the ritual is called the Burning Blade. And because they both survived the burning blade, Lo Pan says he will marry both of them. Scene then jumps back to Jack and men making their way through the underground, where a large bug pops out and kills one of the men. But Egg Shen throws like a little smoke bomb at it and it scurries it off. The scene then jumps back to Mal Yin and Gracie dressed up for marriage. And Lightning comes in, takes control of them. And how you know he takes control of them is because their eyes go white. And he leads them down to their marriage through this dragon mouth thing. I thought that thing was so fucking cool.
It was like a 1980s glam rock stage setting.
It's so cool.
It was so much neon, and yeah, it was just you walk through a giant dragon's mouth. Up, you know, it just it screamed 80s.
It's pretty badass. Scene then jumps back to Jack and the men arriving to the hideout, where Egg Shen explains that Lo Pan is not only going to marry one of them, he has to kill one of them to lift the curse completely. Jack and the men then come across this weird character that has a whole bunch of eyes over it. It's actually a spy for Lo Pan. Lo Pan can talk through this creature, and he explains that he's going to kill Grace, Gracie, and keep Mal Yin. Jack shoots it, but then it scurries away. Scene cuts to Lo Pan arriving through this dragon's mouth once again. Pretty cool. But he's going down this elevator and it starts to pan over his army and then his little creatures, which I thought that was pretty cool. It's like everybody attended for the wedding. Everybody's here to see the homie get married. Egg Shen then makes everybody take the magical potion and everybody piles into this elevator.
Yeah. Before they drink it, Jack is like, "Is that the magic potion?" He's like, "Yeah." "Do we drink it?" "Yeah." "Cool. I thought so."
And then
what else are you gonna do with the magical
potion?
What
I thought was funny is when they're in the elevator, everybody's like, I feel good. Yeah, let's do this. Like, so they
and then Jack's like, "It's getting kind of hot in here," and I'm like, "Where is this going?" These elevator doors need to open up.
And the elevator's doors do open. They arrive at the wedding. Jack goes to shoot Lo Pan, but Egg Shen says no, let him finish the ritual so that he then becomes flesh again. The eye creature catches the men, and Jack shoots it, killing it. Now that the men are alerted, they all look over towards Jack and the men. Jack says to get ready. They do this army cry, and Jack fires 3 shots in the air, chipping some of the ceiling off, knocking him in the head. So as these two parties go to collide in battle, Jack is laid out flat on his back.
Totally unconscious. Such a good scene, because he even does a battle cry, like He shoots his gun in the air, and then all this concrete just lands on his head, laying him out flat.
And then once again, all hell breaks loose. There are men fighting all over the place. Jack has now rejoined the fight. Wang tries to go after Mao Yin, but Rain then stops in front of him, and they have this dick throwing contest where they do this awesome sword fight. They're flipping all over the place, and they're trying to get the one up on one another. Jack tries to shoot Lo Pan because the wedding is now complete, but Thunder grabs the gun right out of his hand and punches it dust.
Yeah. Shattered.
Egg Shen throws a bomb at Thunder to save Jack. Jack goes for his knife boot as he sees a guard coming. He then shoves the boot. He shoves the knife through his boot and kicks his feet up to stab the guard in the gut, which the guard dies on top of Jack, which now Jack is stuck.
That boot knife, man. And yeah, so he's like laying on his back in a squatting position with all this man's weight on him, and he can't seem to kick him from side to side, so he is like pinned on the ground.
And I thought it was so funny because they showed this happening, right? And then they cut to them fighting, and they cut back to him still trying to get this dude off of him. They cut away,
Yeah.
and they're fighting again. They cut back to him, and he finally gets the
There's so much fighting going on. Well, he's either trying to find a weapon, unconscious, stuck under a man.
Oh my gosh. He's like the most overconfident, unsuccessful person.
Right. No, he's an absolute idiot. But he's like the coolest idiot I've ever seen in a
You're
movie.
not wrong. He is pretty awesome. Lo Pan and Egg Shen then shoot beams at each other that develop warriors in the shadows of these beams, and Lo Pan is pretending like it's like his long nails are controllers, and he's like,
it's like a Super Nintendo. He's only like he's holding it like a Super Nintendo controller because that's all there was back in '86.
Hey, whoa,
I mean,
whoa!
no,
You had
there was Atari.
There you go.
But he wasn't.
There you go.
He wasn't doing a joystick.
Oh,
move.
you're right. He wasn't.
And you have to do a joystick move if you're doing Atari. He was definitely doing Super Nintendo.
Way to put that one together. Way to shoot down my theory. Way to shoot down my theory. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I gotta admit, that was fucking beautiful. But the two beams then cancel each other out. Lightning then trots down the steps and tries to lightning strike Egg Shen, but Egg Shen whips out this metal fan and ricochets the shot back to him.
He just reflects it.
I thought
it's a mirrored fan.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought that was it's like the most powerful of the three storms is so easily defeated. Like he's just so easily countered. And Jack finally breaks free and rejoins the fight once again. Lo Pan bails with Mao Yin. Lightning then shoots a lightning strike at the awesome dragon head, and it shuts, but it doesn't stay shut. I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. It like collapses down, but we'll get to that. Wang kills Rain by stabbing him in the gut and throwing him into a hole. And then he goes after Lo Pan and Mao Yin. But the passage that lightning just shot, that shut, like we clearly seen the head shut down, is now propped back up in its rightful spot, and Wang just walks through. Egg Shen then blows up the entire hideout. But the furry creature then appears behind Jack, and grabs him. Grace gives him the Bigfoot Muppet appears behind Jack,
the Bigfoot Muppet,
and grabs him. But Grace gives him a little kick, and they enter the elevator that he apparently came out of. I don't know when he got in the elevator, but Jack this time gets a real kiss. He doesn't steal it. She gives him one.
This is so good. Because Gracie has this uh like traditional Oriental makeup all over her face, and the the
Oh yeah.
right, then the lipstick that she's wearing that's red is like straight, like it's almost like if you took a Hitler stash and put it on your lips.
It's just, and it's a
And
weird, yeah, it's a weird square. Like, but so you see his normal color lips, but you see this blatant red
right,
strip
so
going down.
yeah, he's totally wearing lipstick right down the middle of his mouth, and he's trying to be big and bad, cocky, and he has no idea it's there.
They arrive at Lopan's office where he's excited because he's become flesh again. They go to kill Mao Yin to finish the ritual, but Jack, of course, steps in. Oh, he steps up and they look at him and he goes, you know, in a time like this, you know what your pal Jack
Oh,
Burton says? And he goes, Jack Burton? Who? He goes, me, Jack Burton. And then that's when Wang flips in and then he goes, Jack Burton always says,
what the
what the
hell? Oh my
hell?
god, I didn't write that line down. What's wrong with me? I probably fell asleep. I don't know. It could happen. I don't sit down well.
Wang starts to fight Thunder solo. Jack takes this time to pull out the boot knife, take it, and throw it at Lopan. But Lopan sees it coming and just sidesteps it. It falls to the ground, and Jack kind of lets out like this deflated
Yeah.
look, like, son of a bitch. Lopan then picks up the knife and throws it back at Jack. Jack then catches the knife one-handed and throws it right back at Lopan and hitting him dead in the
I mean,
center
it is
of the
coming right for
head.
Jack's face, and he just grabs it by the handle as it's spinning rapidly towards him and just chucks it right back.
That is exactly how it happened.
And then he goes, "It's all in the reflexes."
That
Oh
is,
my!
there's
He
the line.
had
He said
to
the
have
line.
he had to have used John Wayne as inspiration for his character.
Inspiration.
I didn't think about it
Holy
until just
shit.
now.
Now
It-
that you think about it, now that how he delivers his lines in this movie, oh my
yeah,
God.
I have no doubt.
Yes, how he
I have no
delivers
doubt.
his lines. It is 100% John Wayne. Holy shit. Wang is being chased around by a very pissed off Thunder.
Yes, he's losing his shit.
They're in this little back room where you can only see through the door, and you see Wang run to the left, and Thunder is just clearing his path. Like, he's just throwing shit side to side. Then you see Wang run to the right. And then once again, shit just flying comes through the door, and Jack and Wang link back up. Thunder then sees Lopan laying dead on the floor, and he gets so upset that he inflates himself to what I can only call a
You
human
know what
balloon.
it reminded me of? Did you ever collect Garbage Pail Kids? He looked like a Garbage
Yes.
Pail Kid. Like,
Oh God, is that
when he
another inspiration? Do
when
we
he
unlock
got
something else?
like his face inflated so wide, his whole body. He did. He looked like right before he blew up. He looked like a Garbage Pail Kid.
They bail out, and he pops, and all these little ribbons
white
come out. I
ribbons.
thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's not like guts or anything. It's because it's PG-13. They don't want guts in there,
That's a
man.
good point. I didn't even think about that. I always thought that was kind of dumb, but now I get it.
Lightning appears, and they need to escape through this hole in the ceiling, and he's walking down this hall, catching up to them. Egg Shen then has another hole that he's above them in. So they're in, say, like the sewer. Then there's a hole that they have to crawl through, that they have to crawl through another hole to get to where Egg Shen is. But Egg Shen makes it a shit ton easier because he has this pulley gun, essentially, that he fires through, and it creates this little pulley system, and it just whips everybody up one by one. As everybody's trying to make it through this hole, lightning starts coming through the first hole that they came through. Egg Shen takes the statue and drops it through the hole and just knocks lightning on
square on his ass.
And then what I thought was funny was when he got hit and started falling down, little lightning bolts started coming out. So everybody escapes, they make a run for it. And as they make a run for it, they find the Pork Chop Express. Everybody jumps in and gets back to the restaurant. And this is kind of the fast-paced resolution.
There's no more action, so what do you care?
Yeah, Margot and Eddie kind of hit it off. Wang has Mao Yin back. Jack is about to hit the road. He talks to Gracie one last time. They kind of want to be in a relationship, but Jack knows he's not relationship material. Why? Because Jack is back on the road talking to the CB radio to anybody
Margot
who's listening.
Looks at Jack and she's like, "Aren't you gonna kiss her goodbye?" And he says, "Nope." And
no.
She says,
and
"See
walks
you around,
away.
Burton." He goes, "You never can tell."
She melts. Like she oh my goodness. She is leaned up against this post, just melting at this man.
Who she hated an hour and 15 minutes before.
But no, I just thought she's just Google-eyed. She's just like, "Oh, my hero." And he's like, "I'm not even going to kiss you."
Yep, she had that look like she did in Sex and the City. I mean, Sex and the City. Oh, that was a Mandela effect. Oops.
Don't you start. Don't you fucking start. We're almost home free.
No, we're not.
Almost home free.
Because I have Jack's last monologue on the CB radio. But
you're
no, I'm not going to give it to you yet until I give you my list of one-liners that cracked me.
All right. Fire away with your list, my friend.
I am. Okay. But these are the one-liners that I felt like came from 1920s gangster mafia movies. So I am going to read them as such.
Oh,
wait a minute. Hey. That's when he's in the airport and the three guys bump into him. And then when he's getting ready to leave, and Gracie says at one point, she says, "Be careful." As he's going out the door, he says, "She can't get enough of me." And then somebody asks Jack, "Are you ready?" "I was born ready." And then he says, "Come over here and fight like a man." Come on, man. He pulls a gun out and he says, "Reach for the sky." Literally said that. Are you kidding me? And then Gracie, when she's being kidnapped by Lo-Pan, she says, "You're never gonna get away with this."
Oh my goodness. The more you get to know us, you will unlock that story. That is a story for a whole nother time.
She's saying it. And he says "a dark and stormy night" 3 times in this movie. Okay. So this is his final thing. Like, they started off with him talking on the CB, and they're ending it with it as well. You just listen to the old Pork Chop Express here now and take his advice on a dark and stormy night. Number 3. When the lightning crashes and the thunder's rolling and the rain comes down in sheets thick as lead, just remember what old Jack Burton does when the earthquakes and the poison arrows fall from the sky and the pillars of the Den shake. Yeah, Jack Burton looks at this big old storm square in the eye and he says, "Give me your best shot. I can take it." And that would be how the movie ends, except that they pan back and the Bigfoot Muppet is on the back of
Definitely
his truck.
another Jack Burton adventure. That would have been awesome. And that is Big Trouble in Little China. We are Action Movies for Dummies, and that is our show.